All right, what is up, people? My name is Daryl, and today we are going to fully optimize your WordPress website with the Yoast SEO plugin. So by the end of this tutorial, your website will be fully optimized and ready to go for all major search engines. And I'll also include a lot of free and helpful resources that will actually help you learn SEO and also give you tips and tricks on how you can improve your website's visibility. Now, let's just say you're brand new here and you have no idea what the Yoast plugin does. So in a nutshell, Yoast will actually help index your website for search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. It tells people what your website or product is all about. So right here is my website, Padenza.com. And this is like just one that I run, and I basically promote Divi child themes and Elementor plugins. So right here you can see that we have Padenza, Divi theme, Elementor WordPress themes, and plugins. So basically this was all done with the Yoast SEO plugin. I want people to know that my site is promoting a certain product or that I am, marketing myself to a specific audience. So it will help basically index your website and show how you want your visitors to see your website. So this was all done with the Yoast SEO plugin. Also, it will actually improve your rankings. So this is my website, my main website, darylwilson.com. And I just kind of like blog about stuff like, Divi and, e-commerce, best WordPress themes, etc. Now, when I go to the search engine right here and type in best Divi child themes, my website actually shows up on page 1 right here. Now, this was all done with the Yoast SEO plugin. So right here, Divi child themes, Daryl Wilson, and then do you want the best Divi child themes, etc. So this was all done with the Yoast plugin. Again, it basically tells people what my website is all about. Now, also in this video, I've actually invited the owner of Yoast himself, which his name is, I think it's Juiced, and he's going to help answer some questions about things like how long you can expect results, or what is a robot.txt file, etc., to kind of help you engage in this SEO journey. Now, we're gonna go ahead and start from scratch. So this is my website right here. This right here has it's not optimized. It is completely blank. It needs optimization. It needs help. So I'm gonna start from scratch so you can follow me step by step on how to optimize your website. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this tutorial. So right here, I'm gonna go to my dashboard and we are going to first install the plugin, right? Also, if you're wondering about this, this theme right here, I know people are gonna ask me, I actually use a service called Crocklebox. It's like a template service for the Elementor page builder, and you get like tons of templates and everything. I'm not trying to sell you, I actually have it. Well, if you want it, I'll just put the link in the description. All right, you do what you wanna do. I'll look the other way. All right, so right here, plugins, and go to add new. And we're going to update or install the Yoast plugin. So right here, we have Yoast. And I'm sure you probably know which one it is, right? It's going to be this one right here with over 1 million active installs with 20,000 positive reviews. And right now, what's the date? It is 6/13/2018, okay? So it is pretty up to date. This tutorial is up to date. I had one that was a little outdated, so I'm making this to sort of update it. Now, when you activate this plugin, you might actually get a wizard. And if you don't get the wizard, I'll show you how you can get there. So right here under this Y section, just go to configuration wizard. This should be the first thing that you do. So let's go ahead now and configure Yoast. So right here, we'll go to configure Yoast SEO. And is your site live? Is it ready to be indexed? If it is, just click option A. If it's still under construction, you're just not ready yet, go ahead and click option B. Here, I'm gonna click on next. Now, everyone, don't really worry about all these questions. You can change all of these in the settings. So don't act like this is like one thing, like this is like what's those shows where it's like you have to make a decision, like the Shark Tank, Don't worry about it. So you can change all of this stuff a little bit later. So right here, I'm just gonna say, well, I'm a small office business. I'll do corporation. I'm a corporation today. And then here, I'm gonna put your company or your person. So I'm a person, so I'm gonna put Daryl Wilson. Now, if you're a company, you're gonna go ahead and put in the name of your company and also put in an image if you have one right there. So right here, I'm gonna put in person and Daryl Wilson. Click on next. Now, if you have a social media profile, you can go ahead and enter it right here. And guys, make sure it's not a private profile. I've had people like saying, hey, the users go to my profile and it's private or it's blocked. It's like, well, it's a private profile. So you wanna make sure you put your fan page and make sure it's public. Don't worry about all this right here. We can add our URLs a little bit later. So I'm gonna go to next. Now, make sure these are all yes, okay? This would be the worst thing you can do is put no. Make sure these are all yes because you want your site to be indexed, your posts and pages, right? I mean, that's where all of your content is. So if you have that to no, I mean, it's pretty much useless at that point. So make sure this is all yes right here. All right, and also this section and this section right here, some of these sections might not appear for you because depending on what plugins you have, it's going to give you different options, okay? So right here, just click on next. So do you have multiple authors? If you do, you're gonna put yes. If you don't, just go ahead and put no. I would recommend putting no because that will actually help prevent duplicate content. We'll talk more about what duplicate content is and why it can be the end of your world. So just go ahead and click on next right here. All right, so right here, we can authorize this with Google. Now, we're not gonna do this just yet. We're going to first add a property in a little bit, but we can come to this a little bit later. I don't know why they recommend it right now because it's just, we can do this later. Don't worry about it. So right here, click on next. Now, the title settings. So this right here is the title. Now, you see the separator right here? So if I go to the search engine right here, or over here, you can kind of see how people have their own separators. So right here, there's a separator. Right here, there's a colon. Here they have that little separator. So depending on what you like, you can go ahead and add it in right there. So right here, I'm gonna click on next. And you want the newsletter. Well, if you do, you're gonna go ahead and click on sign up so you can get some newsletters. I get some newsletters from them. I think some of their content is really good and it helps, it's like tips and tricks. It's like, what's the trends with SEO? So it's always good to have it, Here, click on next. And this is where they're trying to sell you stuff. So you can, check this out, like Yoast Premium. We'll talk more about Yoast Premium a little bit later towards the end of the tutorial as well. And all this other stuff. You can kind of check out their YouTube channel as well. So right here, I'm click on next. Now, many of you might be wondering, when do these changes come in effect? Well, I'm gonna let Yoast go ahead and, I think that's his name, Yoast. So I'm gonna let him go ahead and answer that question.
When can I expect to see changes from Yoast applied to the search engines? Well, this depends. This depends on how often Google crawls your site. For new pages, that might be very quickly. For pages that it has already crawled, it might take a couple of days. But that's usually about it. A couple of days. Maybe if your site is very small and doesn't have too many links, it takes up to a week, but that's about it.
All right, let's go ahead now and go over here to close now. All right, so this is like our dashboard. So we're like kind of like 20% done, 25% done. So what I want you to do now is go over to features. So right now we're in the general section, okay? So there's general, search appearance, search console, and all this stuff. We're gonna go to features first. Now features, make sure all of this is on, okay? This is basically what Yoast does. Like this is like why you installed the plugin. So you wanna make sure this is all set up. So for example, cornerstone contents, we'll talk more about that in a little bit later, but that's like your most important article. Like what does like your site represent? That's basically what a cornerstone content article is. XML sitemaps, we're going to submit those to Google in just a little bit, but you wanna make sure that is on because that's very important. Kind of, it's like the directory of how robots crawl your website. So you wanna make sure all of this stuff right here is on. All right, I'm gonna go to save changes. Webmaster tools. So let's go ahead now, and remember how earlier I said we're gonna do it a little bit later with Google verification? Let's go ahead now and do that right now. So I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and change my username. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this one right here as the default. Now I want to basically create a property. So I'm gonna go to Google Webmaster Tools, and we're basically going to submit our website to Google so they can crawl on a regular basis. So right here, I'm gonna go to sign in. All right, now I don't have a property, right? So you need a property. So I'll go ahead and put in our, where's my website I just put? There it is, right here. I'll go ahead and copy this right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and paste it right there and add a property. Oh, I'm sorry, just the .com, not all this stuff. Whoops. So right there, add a property. And there you go. So we have the property right there. Now we need to actually go ahead and verify this and do all those, good settings and stuff like that. So over here, I'm gonna click on Google verification code. We're gonna go click on Google Search Console, okay? Click on that. I've already verified my website quite a few times. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, I've done it previously before. So it kind of recognizes the cache. So it's kind of saying you've already done this, but I'm just gonna show you all how to do it, of course. So right here, click on HTML file upload. I'm sorry, not HTML file upload. We're gonna go to our, is it a name I provider? Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, HTML tag, guys. So sorry, HTML tag. You're gonna go ahead and copy this right here. Okay, just copy this whole thing right here and go ahead and paste that right there and go to save changes, okay? All right, awesome. So right there, it is set. Now, if you've noticed what it did, it basically got rid of all of this mumbo jumbo right here, all of this verification, and Yoast already knows this. So they've actually just taken this content right here. This is all they really needed right here. That's it. So for future reference, if you want to know, they just need those letters. And once you're done, click on verify. Okay. All right. So it's basically saying it's verified, etc. Now you might not have that check mark and everything, so don't worry. Again, I've done this previously before in the past, so the cache stores it. So it's just it's just how it goes, So now let's just do Bing Webmaster Tools. Okay, so let's get verified right here. Now I know you're probably wondering, why do Bing? It's dead. Bing really controls like 15% of the internet still, and most of those people are probably over 60 years old. But it's still an audience, So we still need to get our website indexed by Bing as well. So right here, click on Bing Webmaster Tools. Whenever I use Bing, it's like a bunch of ads, So if you're new to it, just click on sign up. All right, so make it an account. It's free. Pause the video, go get a beer and, come back, because I know everyone hates signing up for websites, but it's a free service. So right here, click on sign in. I'm gonna go to Facebook. Okay, so I need to add my website. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this right here. All right, just the URL, just the main one, just the main one right there. Why does it do that? That is not fun. So here I'll click on add. So I'm just adding my website, and then I'll just click on add again. We'll add a sitemap a little bit later. I'll tell you what it is and why you need it. So again, just like we did before, we're gonna go ahead and copy this, and we're going to just paste it right here. Again, I previously indexed this website before, so that's why it displays that. It's just cache, and it's going to fix it for you. So it just basically shows that right there. So congratulations, your site is verified by Bing and Google. Now again, make sure that you click on verify as well. You don't want to forget that, because if you don't do that, it's not gonna verify, obviously. So once we've done that, make sure you click on save changes, and let's go ahead now and go to search appearance. So our website is now connected to Bing and also Google. So right here we have the separator. Of course, we talked about this earlier. Remember how we talked about the separator, just like over here, the separator and everything. That's exactly what that is. So it's nothing new, right? You get it? So here, I'm gonna go to content types. Now this section right here, this section actually is very important. In fact, this is probably some of the most important parts of this tutorial. So right here is our post. So in a nutshell, like, how do you want your post to be displayed? There's a lot of different ways you can do it. And the way that I personally do it, and most SEO experts do, is title, separator, and site name. So we have title, separator, and site name. Just like that, okay? So a title, a separator, and a site name. Now right here under this section right here, I like to use excerpt. So some people don't like to use it, but excerpt is a brief synopsis about your content. So right here under snippet variables, you can see what these do. So depending on what your goal is, you can go ahead and add in certain ones. But for most of you, you want excerpt. Again, if you're not an SEO expert, just, don't use any of these. Just excerpt is default. So, or you can leave it blank. If you leave it blank, it's just basically going to grab whatever content is left on the page. So right here, I'm gonna go to excerpts. So title, separator, and site name as well. And this is actually Yoast recommended as well. Title, separator, and site name. Yoast does believe sometimes excerpt can pick up like some of the content that's not relevant. Some people disagree with that. Some people might say otherwise. So that's the settings I'm putting for my website. And if you want to know when this will take effect, I will have Yoast give you a quick example of that.
How long will it take Google to crawl my website? Well, usually, if Google has found links to your website, it will crawl your website quite regularly to almost every day. So it could take a couple of hours to maybe a couple of days maximum, but that's normally the time period you should think of.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our pages right here. Again, I'm going to go ahead and do title, separator, and there we go. So there's a lot of those little things. All right, there we go. So title, 1, 2, there we go. Yeah, so there we go. We got it good. And then again, I'll go ahead and put an excerpt as well. So right here, I'm gonna go ahead and put an excerpt. All right, I wanna show the Yoast meta box. Now right here, we have different options. So these right here, everyone, it depends on what plugin you have. You will not have these options right here. So like mega menu items, my templates. This is for like Elementor library, etc. Right here, I'm gonna put no. I don't want my templates, my Elementor templates, to be indexed by search engines. The jet menu, I don't want that either. So I'm just gonna say no. But depending on what plugin you have, you're gonna have different options right here. Okay, so if this looks different than your screen, don't panic. Okay, so again, these are the plugins that I'm currently using. So I don't want these indexed. I don't want Jet Theme Core indexed and all, and my Elementor template library. It wouldn't make any sense. I just want my pages and my posts. So right here, I'm gonna click on Save Changes. Also, the date and snippet preview, everything. The date and snippet preview, most people set to hide. I don't think there's a real reason why to show, this right here. But for your pages and your posts, I do recommend it, because what that's gonna do is that's basically going to tell people when your post was published. So, for example, when you see an article on the internet, you want to make sure it's like kind of new, right? And then you're looking around, you want to make sure it's like, not from 5 years older. It's so by having the date right here, it'll help readers identify like the date of it. If you don't want it, you can hide it, but I recommend showing it, because remember, you can always update your content, and that will notify the search engines as well. So that's up to you as well, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it as show, and I'll click on Save Changes. All right, now for media, make sure this is set to yes. The reason why is because by default, when you upload images to WordPress, you ever like click on an image and it just takes you to like the page of an image and that's it? Well, Yoast will actually redirect them to the actual page or post instead of sending them to some like, random page with just an image. So make sure this is set to yes right here. Taxonomies. So taxonomies right here, this is basically where we're going to talk about like categories and tags and everything. Now, personally, I don't recommend tags. I don't think tags should be in the search engine whatsoever. But right here for categories, so the most optimal way that I personally believe is having the term title and then separator and then the site name, just like that. Okay, so if yours looks different, go ahead and change it to term title, separator, and site name. Now, in the description right here, what do you want to put here for a category? Probably your category description, right? So over here under my snippet variables, I'm going to go ahead and take the category description, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this right here, because that makes a lot of sense, right? So right here we have tags. I don't recommend tags at all, because tags can cause duplicate content issues. There are some cases where tags, depending on what you're doing, can cause duplicate content. And duplicate content can throw you on page 9,000. So you don't want to piss off Google, because it takes a long time to recover, and it's just not worth it. It really just isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and just say no on that as well. So right here, I believe the same thing for formats. I'm going to go ahead and disable that as well. Now, category URLs. So I'm going to explain what this is, but I'm not going to recommend to change it. You want to leave it as keep. Now, the reason why is when you go to a website right here, let's just go to category Divi plugins. You see on the link right here, I'll have product category. You see that right there? If you set that to off, if you set that to remove, it's going to remove that right there. Now, if you do that and you change it back, it's kind of like those, like the Shark Tank, where it's like you got to make the decision once and you can't go back. So if you remove it, they're gone forever. If you change it back to keep, guess what? You're going to get 404 errors. So if you do this, you need to decide if this is like, it's a permanent thing. So just leave it as keep, just play it safe, stay on the sidewalk. So, all right, so let's go ahead and go to archives now. Now, archives, I recommend disabling all archives. Archives is a very debated subject, but archives can cause duplicate content. So I recommend disabling that as well. So for author archives and date archives, I recommend just to disable those, because these can cause duplicate content. Anything that can cause duplicate content on your website is going to hurt you, and it's just not worth it, So right here, we have the search pages. So search phrase, page, separator, I just recommend getting rid of the page. We don't need the page. So right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and just get rid of the page. Just the search phrase, the separator, and the site name is just good enough. And here, that's okay. We can have just the separator and the site name. That's perfectly fine. So here, click on save. Again, these are optimal settings as well. So you're doing the right thing. Breadcrumbs. Now, I don't recommend breadcrumbs because, again, breadcrumbs can break your theme depending on what you're using. I don't know what theme you're using, but if you want to go ahead and enable breadcrumbs, you can click on enabled. And again, all they really are is just these little dashes on the search engine. It's like some people believe it's good and it can help, but it's just like not worth it. I personally don't. I can't find a website out there that actually uses breadcrumbs. Can't find them in the search engine here. Let's see if we can find some random websites. No, I don't. So, yeah, so it just basically gives you the ability to have like these separators, but I don't really recommend it. I don't recommend breadcrumbs. So I'm gonna click on Save Changes. And then RSS right here, this is good by default right here as well. And if you want to go ahead and change it, you can add these commands in there. But you know, just the post link and the blog links, it's good enough. So I'm gonna click on Save Changes. And now we're gonna go to Search Console. So congratulations, we are maybe 50% done. You know, we're doing pretty well. Okay, so right here, you might, on the Search Console, you might get like a little reauthorize with Google, and you basically click on it and you copy the shortcode, or you copy the text and you put it back. That's if you didn't already authorize it, because we basically created it and we added the sitemap for it. So if there's that little box right there with telling you to authorize it, go ahead and authorize it and then select the domain. And once you're done with that, any errors that you get are going to end up right here. Okay, so this is going to look like this after you set it up correctly. So if there's something wrong with your website, it'll tell you right here. It'll also like tell you like anything else, like for smartphone and all that stuff right here. So right here, you can see that I've already authorized it. So you might get a page that looks just like this right here. So you can click on reauthenticate with Google, and then you're going to go ahead and I'll just run it through you again just to show you. So right here, get authorization code, and then I'm gonna click on this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and allow it, and then just copy it, and then just go ahead and paste it right there as well. Okay, that's in case it didn't work. And again, make sure to select your domain and then click on Save Profile. And once you do that, again, you'll be brought to this section. So it'll look just like this right here. Okay, so if you're not sure on what to do, you can always go to settings right there and redo it all over again. All right, so we've basically, our website is on with Google. It's up and running. It's being crawled. It's being indexed. So let's go ahead and keep going. So you're doing really good. You know, you're doing really well right now. Congratulations. So right here we have social profiles. Now, again, you need to take your Facebook URL, and guys, make sure it's not private. Okay, I mean, geez. So right here, go to Facebook, and I'm gonna go to all these notifications. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's like let's check my Facebook together. You know, so I'm gonna go to my fan page, and I'm going to go over here and just paste it in there. So again, for any social profile, you just post the link right there and you're all good to go. Facebook right here, if you have like if you have an app ID, you can enter the app ID. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I leave these all as standard. Twitter, I don't use it, but people out there do. So if you want to basically use like a certain card type, you know, you can have like a summary or summary with large image. And this is when you share something. Okay, so if you want a summary with the image, you would put that. If you just want the text, you would just put summary. All right. And then Pinterest, again, ex-girlfriend used it. I don't use it. Just post the confirmation code there. It's somewhere in your Pinterest account. I don't know where it is. Sorry, I just can't help with this part of the tutorial. This is where you get me the down like. Google, again, if there's if you have a URL for your Google account, your Google Plus, which is pretty much dead, just click on Save Changes. So there you go. And then just post URL right there. All right. Tools. So we have import and export, file editor, and bulk editor. A lot of these settings you might not ever use, like import and export. A lot of these settings you might want to just leave blank. The section of import and export is basically SEO plugin. So basically, once you have your settings for Yoast already, you can actually export it and load that onto your other websites. File editor. So file editor is in charge of things like a robot text file, and I would click on create your robot text file. Now, if you don't know what a robot text file is, just don't do anything. You know, so if you're not sure about it, just leave it. So that happens a lot. Just click on back. It's not a big problem. And right here is your robot.txt file. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what do I do with this? Well, Yoast is going to go ahead and give us an explanation of that.
What is the robots.txt and what is the best format for it? Well, the robots.txt that comes with WordPress is probably the one that you should be using. Unless you really know what you're doing, robots.txt is a bit like playing with a butcher's knife. If you do things wrong, it turns out very messy. So if you don't know what you're doing with it, please don't touch it and leave it to the WordPress default.
All right, so I hope that helped. All right, let's go ahead and scroll down. Again, don't touch any of this stuff. You know, you really don't need to touch any of this stuff. You know, just, I'm just gonna click on Save Changes and that's it. You know, this stuff can really damage your website, and I only recommend professionals handling this kind of stuff at this time. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about how to add in your sitemap. Now, really quickly, if you've made some changes to Yoast and it's just not affecting the search engines yet, Juice right here is going to give you a little explanation of that.
Why are my title and meta descriptions different in Google than on my site? Well, Google decides what it wants to show in the Google search results. And if it thinks that your title or your description does not fit your page well enough, it will adapt them and it will change them in such a way that they think it better fits the content of that page. So if Google is changing that for you, you might want to think about, is my title or description good enough, or should I change it?
All right, that's how it goes. So let's go ahead and add in our sitemap. Now, once you've actually installed the plugin right there, you're gonna go ahead and go over here to dash sitemap.xml and click on enter. This right here is your sitemap. So this right here is what you need to submit to Google and also to Bing as well. So going back to our webmaster section right here. So I'm gonna go to my dashboard right here. All right, so we're on our dashboard. Now you can always test this stuff. So over here under crawl, I'm gonna go to sitemaps. I'm gonna click on add a sitemap. And then right here, you're gonna enter in the sitemap.xml. So sitemap.xml. Or in my case, I'm going to click on paste and then just do sitemap.index. You can do that, or just do XML like that, just like that. All right, and then click on submit. Again, you can always test this as well. So right now it is submitting. Refresh the page, and there you go. So right now it is processing as well. So you can see that it's processing. Now again, you can always test it. So I have those. Was it right here? You know, I'm really lazy. That's why I just copy and paste it, because I'll just do it the right way. You can see I'm really lazy. So site.xml and go to test. Again, remember, we can't really command the search engine, but we can influence it. So it does recognize my sitemap and no errors were found, okay? And also right here for robot, this is our robot search engine or our text. So here we can see that our robot or text file is working properly. That's basically, you know, that's what we submitted. So again, here I can go ahead and test that as well by entering our robot.txt. So right here, robot.txt. And right here you can see it says it's allowed. All right, so everything's working properly. And then here you can click on fetch as Google, and then you can go ahead and fetch and render. But you know, you don't need to do this. You really don't need to. We've already done our job, and Google will already, they know what to do. You know, they're not stupid. You know, so also, if you want to learn about like, you know, updates and everything else for your site, and you want to know like all this stuff and what it is, and you want to learn more about Gutenberg, Yoast actually has some new characters they've introduced called the Gut guys. This is them right here.
So Wendy wrote to us and said, I've tried Gutenberg and my previously built posts and pages all look horrible and are a mess to edit. What can she do about this?
That's not very nice. But if that's actually the case, we should fix it before it lands into WordPress core. So if you can, you should file a bug into Gutenberg repository and it should be fixed.
So Janelle asks, how does Gutenberg affect the Yoast plugin?
It affects us a lot. We are working with a team to make sure we are ready before Gutenberg lands into WordPress core. And so you should see some really awesome stuff in the future.
If you have questions for us, write to us at goodguys@yoast.com and we'll answer your questions in these videos. So subscribe to stay up to date. Thanks for watching our video.
I'm Anton.
I'm Tim.
And we're the Good Guys.
Want to know more about Gutenberg?
Watch the whole series on youtube.com/Yoast and subscribe.
So they just talk about, Yoast and other things to look out for. So make sure to subscribe to them. Make sure to subscribe to their channel. They do provide a lot of relevant content. I personally watch them and watch their YouTube channel because a lot of the content they provide is very valuable. In fact, everything that you're watching here, basically, I learned from Yoast. So make sure to go ahead and check out some of their their YouTube channel and their other content. So let's go ahead and go towards the next section of this tutorial. This robot text will upload to your server, okay? And then premium. So there are a lot of great things about premium. I personally have premium on my websites. It includes a lot of things like manager redirect, which will basically redirect broken links to your websites or from your websites, and a lot of other various helpful stuff. Now, before I talk about the Yoast Premium, let's go ahead and update, or let's just go ahead and optimize one of our posts. I'm sure you're wondering, I got this, now what do I do? So I have these posts right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and grab one. Which one should we grab here? We'll do something like this right here. We'll just update this one. All right, so we have this page. Now, this page right here it's semi-optimized, so it's demo content. Now, if you go to edit page right here, you're going to see like the Yoast green light, the Yoast settings, etc., and it's going to give you like information on it. So by going to the bottom of the page right here, you can see what is wrong with this article. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to showcase this. So how do you want this to display on the search engines? So right here, perfectly designed demos are here, ready to show your site, ready to showcase your site. And then maybe we don't need the Canva right there. Maybe we don't need that, So maybe we can, take that out or whatever you want. Again, right here, site name. See how the site name shows right there? That's why it shows. So it's just the title, the separator, and then the site name. You can kind of understand how we did it. Now you can do this manually. You can actually just type whatever you want in there as the SEO title, like this is the best this is the best Yoast tutorial ever. Give like or bust, so, something like that, so you can kind of, understand what you can put whatever you want right here. Okay. Now, the optimal way to do it is to basically be relevant to your content. So I don't know what this article is talking about, but let's just say they're talking about, it looks like they're talking about a theme or something. So, you want to make sure your content is relevant to your article. So like the top 10 best WordPress themes. WordPress themes for 2018. Like the best, or let's see. Or maybe like a free theme was first place or something, or just put free themes, free WordPress themes. Okay, I mean, this title right here might attract an audience. And then for your description, you can leave it as excerpt, like I recommended, or you can go ahead and put something else right there, like looking for the best free WordPress themes. Check our top 10 list of WordPress themes available on our website for free. And then you'd want to change the slug, obviously, because this, maybe something like best WordPress themes. You see that? You see how amazing Yoast is? You can go ahead and change all of that right there. So we changed the title. Now, right here under the social share, you can go ahead and put this information in right here. So like the Facebook title, the Facebook description, and the Facebook images right there. So whenever you want to share it, that's basically what it's going to do. And the same thing for Twitter. Again, Twitter, I feel like Twitter's dead. It's like the engagement rate from Twitter is so bad. Like I've seen pages with like 50,000 like followers, and when they post something, they get like 10 likes. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is weird. And then right here for the settings, I would just leave all these blank, especially with canonical URLs. Just leave most of these blank. If you don't know what it is, just go ahead and leave it. All right. Now, Yoast will actually go ahead and give you improvements. So right here, we have no focus keyword set for this page. So if I type in WordPress themes, I don't really know if that's relevant. So Yoast is telling me, look, you don't really have WordPress themes at all in your article. You need to go ahead and add it in. Oops, sorry about that. All right. So it's basically saying you need to go ahead and add it in, So when you're creating your article, you need to make sure that you have some keyword density. So what I mean by that is by having your actual keyword in there. So Cava is the free WordPress theme we recommend. And then Elementor Page Builder, Jet plugins for WordPress. You know, just by going and adding these in like here and there. Now you don't want to stuff keywords again. Yoast will actually notify you for stuffing keywords, but I'm just you know, giving you an example of how you can start entering in your keywords for their WordPress themes. And then right here, if I go to focus keyword right here, it's going to basically, you know, let me know like what's up. And again, cornerstone content is basically what your article is all about. So if you want your site to be known for something, you want to make sure you check the cornerstone contents. Like if you want to make sure that this shows up more than anything else, you want to add in the cornerstone content. So a WordPress theme, you can see that it was only found 2 times in the article. A meta description without the focus keyword. So again, WordPress theme isn't even in here. You see how I have WordPress themes. So, you know, that is a little picky, but, you know, by adding in your keyword a few times, you're really going to help the visibility of your site. And you can see the like little green thing, you know, it's like saying, hey, this is good. So right here, it's saying the good result is you have good length. Your SEO has a nice length. It looks good. You just want to make sure you have no problems. Now, also, there is internal linking. Now, this is where Yoast Pro come in. Yoast Pro actually has a feature where it'll actually recommend your other articles and interlink them together. Now, if you want to learn more about interlinking and you want to know about all that stuff, just take their free course. You know, Yoast does have a free course on SEO, and it will actually help you, you know, develop your skills with SEO, because most of you watching this don't know about interlinking. You don't know about canonical URLs, and you know these little things are big things. So by learning this, take their free course. You can go ahead and enroll. There is a link in the description below. I highly recommend it. And once you're kind of done with that and you kind of want to venture off and you want to, you know, do your own thing, you can actually take their premium courses. They actually do have premium courses like for basic SEO training. And this stuff is great. I mean, it's going to really help. It's going to help you learn. It's going to give you a certification. You get a little, you're certified by Yoast, you know? And there also is a discount code that I'm going to be providing you all for this course as well. Towards the end of this tutorial. Okay, we're almost towards the end. I'm just trying to basically let you know about their SEO courses, because they're very helpful. And again, you can go ahead and walk around with the Yoast badge, you know, the little WordPress camps or something. You can, you know, say I'm Yoast certified, you know, I'm trained with SEO, you know. So going back over here, actually we're gonna go ahead and go to our edit post. So again, you just want to make sure that you have the keywords enabled, and I recommend the Yoast Pro, because with the Yoast Pro, it'll actually determine what's the best articles to interlink together. So let's go ahead and talk about Yoast Pro right here. So we have the Yoast SEO plugin, and we have like the Yoast Free versus the Yoast SEO Premium. Now with Yoast SEO Premium, you can actually target up to 5 keywords at a time. So you can have a little bit more optimization faster than you can just with 1 keyword. Preview of your page, you know, here Google and Facebook and Twitter previews when someone shares it. And that's pretty important, because you can control how it looks instead of just guessing and hopefully it looks good. I don't know, you know. So the Yoast SEO Premium definitely will help. They also give you the readability check, so they'll basically read what you wrote and determine like the score of how it's going to reflect in the search engines. So Yoast SEO Premium is definitely worth it. I have it, and if you are running a serious blog, it's like a requirement. You must get it, because I have it. I'm serious with SEO, and I want to make sure everything's you know, up to date. Right here, avoid duplicate contents by setting canonical URLs. So again, you want to make sure that you can check some of these out. This is a comparison chart. So right here, like, you know, you can only do 5, 1. Now, what you don't get with the basic one is, again, the interlinking suggestions, which is probably one of the most important parts. You know, if you go to any blog, you're going to notice that they all interlink articles, and they do that because Google loves interlinking. They love it. And Yoast actually will determine what blogs are relevant to help rank you better on the search engines. So I highly recommend it. And right here, you know, content insights, you know, they'll give you 5 keywords or phrases that you use most. And it's very important not to keyword stuff, because your keyword density should be less than, I think, 3%. And if you don't know what that is, you should look it up, because if Google determines that you're keyword stuffing again, they're going to throw you on page 9,000. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to keyword stuff. And there's no ads. Woo! There is no ads. But one of the most important part is that you have a team to back you up. So, when you don't know what something, you don't know what it is, and you're confused and you don't know where to go, you can leave a comment on my channel. I will respond to it, or you can have a team that can help you 24/7, because there's no guarantee that I can help you, because, people out there have a lot of questions, and I really try to get to my best in every single one, but, I really can't. So, again, let's go ahead and go back to our page. So basically, in short, everyone, we have basically successfully optimized our website. Now, this right here is going to be up to you. Like, you writing content is up to you. So I'm just basically showing you this is what you have to do in order to get ranked and have your content seen by a lot of other search engines. Also, under your pages, the same thing right here. I can go to view, and we can go to edit page as well. And there's going to be content right here. Now, for your homepage, don't worry too much about like the description and everything. You do want to set like a title. You do want to set this right here. Like, I'm going to put like, just bedenza.com, or even darylwilson.com, darylwilson.com, darylwilson.com. Learn how to make a WordPress website. And then here I can go ahead and talk about, what I want to show people about, WordPress. So how to make a WordPress website, how to use this plugin, how to do this, etc. And then once I've done that, I can go ahead and save my progress. And then from there, it will basically reflect. Okay. So again, I hope this tutorial was really helpful. Your Yoast settings are at full optimal settings. So at this point, all you need to do is just work on your content. Some big tips, write maybe 500 words, and again, take their free course. Their free course will really help you out. They have tons of SEO courses that will help you write because writing content is the most important thing about websites. It is basically, elegant themes. They have a content writer. They have like 3 content writers. They have content managers. And that's basically why their website gets ranked so highly, because they have great content. So you want to make sure that your content is really great. There is a coupon code on the screen right now. So if you want to go ahead and take a course by Yoast, you can go ahead and use this coupon code. Again, I hope this tutorial was really helpful. I wish you the best success. I hope that you flourish. I hope you become a huge blogger and you get a lot of visitors and you make a lot of money. Again, my name is Daryl Wilson. Thanks to you for watching this tutorial. Make sure to like it, subscribe, and share it. And I will see you all later in my next tutorial. See you later.